Hi all and welcome back. So in today's tutorial, we'll be exploring something around flow designer, which a lot of people are facing nowadays. So I got a request from one of my subscribers that they want to trigger an event, which will basically trigger a notification. And they have implemented the entire process into flow, but they were not finding any mechanism to trigger an event from the flow. Okay. So today we'll be seeing how we can trigger an event from the flow. Now you must be thinking that we can call certain action to trigger the event. But unfortunately, there is no actions present into out of the box action present into Flow Designer. So what we'll be doing today, we'll be creating a custom action and trigger event from that particular custom action. So it will be a generic solution for all kind of needs. I've seen a couple of solutions where people are trying to insert the data into the event trigger table, but according to me, that doesn't make any sense, right? So let's get started. So first of all, what we have to do, let's define the use case. So the use case for today's video will be on the incident table. I am just creating a dummy use case. So use case will be that we'll be creating a table of creating a use case. Okay, when an incident gets created, right? We want to send the notification to the callers manager. Simple use case, right? Which can be applicable in all the ways. So let's get started. So without wasting any time, as you can see on my screen, this is my personal development instance. And if you want to trigger the event, what is the prerequisite for it? So we want event. So let's create event first. So we can go to event registry. Event registry. And under event registry, I will create an event. And I will give it a name as event flow. Okay. And this particular event should be on the table called incident. So we'll be selecting that. Okay. And you always define the description, right? From where exactly it's getting fired. Okay. So this will get fired from Flow Designer, so that you will not confuse and you will not be wasting your time in searching from where exactly it's getting triggered, right? And description. This is the event for notification trigger to manager on incident. Okay, I think this is more than sufficient at this particular point of time. So I will just save it out. And once it's done, as a part of next step, we have to have a notification, right? So I will just copy this name out if we need it, and we'll go ahead and create a notification out of it. So on the notification side, I can click on new. I can give the same name. I'll give event flow notification incident table. Okay, when it will get sent, triggered event. Okay, and we'll try to find this out. So I will just use certain trick. I'm using SNUtil. So whenever the event flow gets triggered, okay, this particular notification will get sent. Who will receive? So we want this particular incident to be sent to callers manager, right? So what we can do, okay, this is a caller, right? And in caller, we will have something called manager, right? So the notification should get triggered to that particular person out and save. And subject will be like your reportee has created an incident. We don't care about this. Okay, macro management from the manager side, you can say. And I will paste the same into the body also, and I will save it out. I'll just save it out. So this is the prerequisite we have created. We have not started on what exactly I want to showcase you guys out. Okay. Now let's jump onto the flow designer. So we will go to the flow designer. It will take some time to get open. And my instance is on Vancouver release. Okay. So you can see certain changes over there. Okay. So that's completely fine. Now we'll create a new flow first of all. Okay. We'll give the flow same name. Okay. Event flow. Description and all those things I will keep it as is. It should be done by system. Okay. I will submit. Cancel. Now add a trigger where we want when the record is created. Okay. So I will just give created. On which particular table the record got created, it should be incident. You can create your own use case, but just for a demo purpose, I took it pretty simple use case on the incident table. So I can go with done. And now you can simply try to find, okay, let's try to find certain, if we have certain out of the work action for event. Okay. So if I go for event, no, we don't have any event, right? So that's where this need arise, right? That we have to create our own custom action. So let's try to create an action. So we'll go to action. We'll create a new action because this is a day-to-day scenario, right? Where we want to trigger certain notifications out, right? So create new action. We'll give it a MS trigger event. I'll keep everything as is. I'll just submit it out. And now you can see input, output. Okay. So let's first create input. So what are input? If you see the event logic, right? Okay. So it comprises of it asks for 4 inputs. One will be the name of the event which you want to trigger. The second will be the glide record. Okay. The third one will be param 1 and param 2, third and fourth. Okay. Which is the optional one. So we'll create into the same respect. So the first one will be event name. Let me correct it. Event name. And it should be what? Reference, right? Reference to which table? So it will be event registry table. Right? And it should be mandatory because if you don't know which event to be triggered, right? Then what will trigger, right? So this is the first input. The second one, what we want is the glide record. So we can give it as a record. The type of this will be document ID. Okay. And this is also mandatory. The third, let's create one optional variable. We will give it table. Okay. I will show you the purpose of the same. And table should be reference to table should be table itself, right? Table name. Okay. It's not mandatory. The fourth one is param 1, which should be string. Okay. And non-mandatory. And the fifth one is what? Param 2. Which is again a string. And now what you can do, or this table, right? because you know the document already how it works. You have to select table first, and on basis of the table you can select the record, right? We don't want to go through that iterations, right? So what we can do over here, we can make dependent on input. Okay, depends on another input, and which particular thing? Table. So the table can be auto populated when you are configuring on the flow. So we don't have to go through the hack of defining the table first and then defining the record. So I think this is as what we want, right? These are the inputs. Okay. Now let's go and add a step, and we want to go with the script step. Okay. So here you have to again define the input variables, right? So you have to again create the input variables. So what I will do, I will quickly create script event, then script table. It's not needed, but I'm just creating it out. Okay. Script. What else? Script event, script table, then script record. Then script param 1, and the last one is script param 2. Okay. And now we will map it out to the inputs. So, or you can simply drag it out from here. So event, it will go over here. Then what? Record table will go over here. Then record will go over here. Then what? Param 1 will go over here. Param 2 will go over here. Done. And now we can write a script. So you know how to trigger the event from the script. It's pretty easy. So we have to just go with gs dot event queue. Okay. And now we'll be defining the attributes. So the first attribute, as we know, will be the script, will be the event name. So how we can get it? So it will be input dot its inputs dot and the variable name. So what is the variable name over here? Is a script event. The second will be inputs dot white king dot scriptable. I'll copy from here. No, we want this one. The third one will be param, right? So we can give input dot script param 1, and I can copy paste the same for the param 2. So I'll just take it from here. Because I'm pretty lazy. And 2. So we are done with the code, right? Do we need any output? No, we don't need any output, right? What output you will expect from the event, right? So we can simply save this out. Pretty easy, right? Now let's test it out. So we will select the event flow. Let's select the record. So as we have defined it on the table, right? Or let me try if I can shuffle it out. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. Save. Why I did so, you will come to know. So if I test it out now, so let's select the event flow event. Now, if you go directly on the record, right, it will give all the records, okay, which we don't want. Now we made it dependent on the table. So if I select the table as incident, so on the records, we'll get only the records corresponding to incident table. See, it makes sense, right? And we can give test param 1, control A, control C, test param 2, right? And we can run the test. So the execution is completed. Let's verify if everything is working fine. So it's completed. Okay, it looks good. Perfect. Now let's see if it is if it has already created an event or not, if it's working properly or not. So how we can verify it? So we can go to event logs and we can search for the event flow. Might doing something wrong. And if I search created incident, table incident, this looks good. But in name, why it's coming like this?
Okay.
Oh, I got the point. We need the event. My bad. So what we did wrong is if we go over here, if we go to the inputs, so over here, if we event, okay, script event, right? So we can go over here and we want only name, not the entire thing outright. So we can get only event name. Don't want this. Because you will not be passing the entire object, you will be passing the event itself. So let's test one more time. And test. Event flow. Table incident. Record. I will select any. And we'll give test param 1 to record. Say test param 2. Run test. Done. And we can see the execution. Everything looks good. Let's go back and let's refresh. So now we can see we got the event, okay, with all the things out, what we were expecting. Okay. So now let's add this particular event to the flow now. So we'll go to the flow again. And what we can do, now we can try to we didn't publish the action, right? So let's go to action. This looks good. And we can go publish. And now if I go actions, and the name was trigger, right? Do we need to refresh it out? Let's try to refresh. We'll add the trigger when the record is created. On which particular table we will go with the incident. Now we will go to add logic flow. Interesting. Trigger it because I haven't defined it into a category, so it came into global category. So trigger event I selected, and now it's asking for certain inputs. First one is the event name. Okay, so the event name we can give event flow. Okay, I will not give the table name because I will be dragging the same record over here. So I can give incident record PAM1, PAM2. We can give test from flow PAM1, and for the next we can give test from the flow PAM2. Done. So I will not add any other things, okay, because this is what we want to see. So I'll save this out and let's test. I'll select one record, run test. It looks good at this particular point of time. Yeah. Now let's try to test it out on the incident itself. So what we'll do, we'll activate it out. Once it got activated, let's move on to ServiceNow instance and let's create one incident. So first of all, I have to check which user has manager. So I will go says underscore user what I did. And then let's pull the manager field. Okay. Yeah, I was expecting this. And in the manager, I will give my name only. I can give system administrator. Tutor. Okay. For able tutor. Now let's go to incident dot do. And we'll define the caller as it was able tutor only, right? Able tutor. Let's confirm field as manager. It's not visible on this particular pop-up view. Okay, fine. And we'll give test flow event. Okay. And we'll submit. It got submitted. I think it got submitted, right? Let's verify. Dot list. Yeah. Now let's go to the event logs to see. Yeah. Just how it got created. And let's see the notification. So you can see we got the incident also. Perfect, right? Yes. Yes. Tu-tu-tu. Event flow is the event. Yeah, it got triggered. Preview email. Perfect. Okay. So this is how you can instead of relying on the create record things, right? Okay, you can simply create an action. It's pretty simple action to trigger an event. Okay, and then you can reuse it again and again the way you are using js.eventqueue on into the script. Okay, this will help you out. Okay, in boosting your productivity as well as it will save a ton of your time. I hope you like this particular video. Okay, so in today's video, we have seen how we can create a custom action to trigger event from a flow, and we have demonstrated the same with some stupid use case. Okay, I hope you like this video out. If you liked it out, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notified of my upcoming videos. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day. Thank you.